Okay, so today we're going to draw the scissor-tailed flycatcher. It's a, whoa, hold on. It's a medium-sized bodied bird with a short black bill and a very long forked tail. Males have much longer tails than females, and young birds, their tails give them acrobatic skills in the air. They can perform sharp twists and turns while catching insects in midair. They live in the U.S. and in Mexico, and they eat primarily insects. It's the state bird of Oklahoma, and it's actually a kingbird. They prefer open country with scattered trees, prairie lands, and farmlands. Their coloring is so beautiful, too. They have like a salmon pink color under the wings. You most likely will see these where you live if you're in Oklahoma or Texas. They're so beautiful to watch. So we have a park and a field right next door, and one time there was a nest, a scissor-tail flycatcher nest in one of the trees with 5 eggs, and after a while the babies hatched and they flew away. So that's pretty fun. So I really praise God for all he does in creating beautiful animals like this one. Psalm 136:4 says, "To him who alone does great wonders, for his loving kindness is everlasting." So we have a cool video that we want to show you of the scissor-tail flycatcher flying. And their tail kind of forks out, and that's why it's called the scissor-tail flycatcher.
I love their tail.
So pretty. Wow. So that's a pretty cool video of the scissor-tail flycatcher. And this is what it will look like when we're done. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm using oil pastels like always, but crayons or colored pencils will also work. Okay, so we're going to start with its head like always. We're just going to do a little bump that comes over like that. And then when we get down here, it's going to kind of curve. It's like a little hook, half hook. Okay, so we're going to do the beak now. We're just going to kind of curve out and just do kind of curved line that comes out.
You like it here better? Who likes it here better, or do you like it over top?
Do you like seeing the top view, or do you like it like this?
Like that?
I like it more like that.
Yeah.
I like it more like this. I like it more like, yeah.
Us too.
Top view.
Okay, so we're just going to bring that line of the beak back like this. So they have a really cool little patch that comes up. It's kind of messy, but it comes up from the beak to the eye. So when we do the eye, it's not going to be a circle. It's just kind of going to be like a little raindrop shape. And then we're going to do a circle right inside, like that. Okay, so we're going to bring this bottom line of the beak out a little more and then just connect it up to the top.
He's cute.
Okay, so now we're just going to do a messy line to the beak, from the beak to the eye. Okay, so we're going to kind of repeat that same thing, but it's kind of going to get a little bit bigger as we go to the beak. Okay, so now we're just going to do a curve that comes down from the beak like that. And then we're going to do his back. So we did him a little bit more this way, and his body's kind of small, but his tail is really long. So we're just going to do a curve like that. And then another one just like it, like that. And then we're going to bring a line way back here like this. So his tail is going to be really long. So there's like a line that goes down the middle, and then there's like little feathers out of it. The line is as thin as a piece of string. So the tail is going to start about right here. So we're going to come down here and just go out and then bump in to that line. And then we're going to start here where we stopped, but on the up here on this side of the line. And we're going to go out this way and then curve back in. So there's just a little feather sticking off that line. And then we're going to do another line over here, but it's going to stop right there. And then we're going to do another one of those little feathers, and it's going to be a little bit longer than the first one. Okay, so now we're going to bring a line out like this and back. And then we're going to start here and just do a big bump that comes around. It's going to stop right there. And then we're just going to do another bump that comes around, touches that line, and comes back. So it's kind of like a little heart shape if you turn it like this.
Kind of.
Okay, so this is where its tail ends. So we're going to do the wing. So we're going to start up here and just do a line that comes way around, then it goes up and connects to that line. Okay, so it also has a little feather pattern right here under the tail. It goes out and then back in. So we're just going to do a curve that comes out like that. And then it's going to come back. Okay, and then we're going to start here and do a big belly line. Just comes around like this and then connects to that little point shape that we made. Okay, so he's going to be perched on like a wire. So I'm going to show you how to make it look like a wire after we do the beginning of his feet. So we're just going to do, their feet are kind of small. So we're just going to do two short little lines like that. And same right here, but they're going to be going a little bit more straight down. Okay, so now for both feet, we're just going to do a curve that comes around like that. And then we're going to curve those around with a little hook. Okay, now we're going to go to the top line and do a curve. And we're just repeating the steps on both feet. Okay, now we're going to bring those little hooks around and connect to those toes, to those front toes. Okay, now we're going to do the wire and then we'll finish the feet. So like we always do, we're just going to bring like a little branch, just to bring a line like that. And then imagine it going through this foot and to the other toe. And then out like that. So they have kind of small feet. So let's finish out the feet. So we're just going to do those little toenails like that. So it'll out curve and then back. Okay, now we're going to do a line right next to that top line that we made for the other side of the wire. It's going to copy that first line. Then we're just going to connect it with a straight line on both sides. Okay, now we're going to finish those toes that come out. We're just going to do two little curves that come out from under. And then that toenail. Okay, so to make it look like a wire, we're just going to do a bunch of really steep diagonal lines. So we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way across and try to make them all exactly the same. So it might take you a while, but it looks really cool, and it looks a lot like a wire when you're done. So there you go. Okay, so I think we're about ready to color it, but we're just going to do little wing designs first like we always do. So we're just going to do a curve out of the back like that, and then it's going to curve around and go into the bottom like that. So it's just a big kind of a half S shape. You turn it like this. Okay, now we're going to do a curve that comes across like that. Okay, now we're going to come out of this right here and go out and back to about a little bit lower than the middle of this line. Okay, so now we're going to do a line that starts here and comes down. Then we're going to do a bunch of straight lines in there. And now we're just going to do a bunch of bumpy feathers in there. And then right here, we're going to do that pattern that comes out and then in, out and in. We're only going to do that 2 times. So this pattern, it comes out and then it goes up. Okay, so you can do, just going to do little guidelines around the head where I want my shadows to be. So I'm just going to do a little zigzag up there, little curve around the eye. You don't have to do this. I just like to do it to get my shadows right. Just some light shading lines if you want to predict where your shadows are going to be. So it's time to color it. So like I said, I'm using oil pastels, and we're going to start with the head. So I'm going to start with a little bit of gray, light gray, and just go in there where I put my shadow lines. Just kind of lightly shade with my light gray up on the head, and then also a little C shape around, starts at the eye and then goes down to the neck. And then
What color is this?
this is light gray.
Okay.
I'm just doing little shadows all up in my head. Not my head, but the bird's head. Okay, now you probably guessed I'm going to go back with white and just smooth all that out. And it makes nice little shadows in there, in the head. Okay, so we're going to get our black now, and we're just going to very, very lightly shade, as lightly as you can, inside this space. And see, that looks real nice already, but we're going to go back with our white. and smooth it all out. And it should make the gray a little bit darker than what we did up on the head.
For that whole spot?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now we're just going to go over and color solid this little part where we did all the lines.
With what color?
With light gray. Okay, now we're going to go over with black all of this, and then we're going to go back over with white and define the feather lines. Okay, so Libby, you probably want to hear this because I heard you saw a rat snake on your porch. I caught a giant vine snake yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I don't have it. I set it free yesterday too because they don't do well in captivity. Me and Evelyn and some of the other neighborhood kids set it free. But he was probably about this long from head to tail. About 2 feet.
That's cool.
Hold on.
That is cool.
Hold on a second. Okay, so after we did the black all the way down to here, we're going to do these little feather shapes in here. So all the little feather shapes and the big ones at the end. And these little things that look like little strings, those just stay like that, and you can kind of thicken them a little bit with your drawing pencil to make them a little bit more visible. Okay. Now we're going to do that peach color. We're just going to start with a very light peach, like this. And we're going to color all in here. And then we're going to fade out as we get up. We're just going to fade light until we get into nothing.
Okay.
What color did you do for this part of the bird?
What?
What color did you do for this part of the bird?
The belly?
No, the top of it.
Oh, right here? I just did very lightly shaded with black, and then I went back over with white.
Underneath that.
Yeah, this is just black.
Okay. What I thought so.
Okay, so now I'm going to get my gray and just do a little shadow down here. And it fades out like that. And then I'm going to go over with a little bit darker peach. It's like an orangish peach, like a salmon color. And I'm going to make a little bit darker down here and then fade out lighter. So they have a really pretty belly color. And then we're also going to color this little patch up by the eye. And also I'm going to get my drawing pencil and do that line to divide the beak. And also a little circle for the nostril. And I'm going to shade in some spots, like down at the bottom, just do little shadows here and there with your drawing pencil, like that. And then I'm also going to go in my drawing pencil and do a little highlight in the eye and color all around it. And it's real easy with your drawing pencil because it's so fine pointed. Okay, so we're almost done with the bird. We just have to go back on the feet with black, just solid black. Just color all of the feet and also the little part of the toe that comes out from under the wire. And then one more time, get your drawing pencil and go in and do those toes, the claws. Okay, so the wire we're just going to leave white because all those little lines in there make it look kind of gray. So we are done, and don't forget to sign your name. Okay, so hold on just a second. Okay, so
It's making, yeah.
okay.